Hey there, you wonderful listeners. I have a question for you. Do you want to make a podcast? Well, Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily and then distribute it everywhere and even earn money all in one place and for free. How can you beat that? It's called Spotify for Podcasters. And here is how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, there are Q&A and poll options available, and those are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free with no catch. Ever since I've discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it has made doing my shows like the Steam Machine Podcast, Yabs Pod, and the JRPG Report much, much easier to do. Like being able to just go on there, record them, upload it, boom, it's done. I don't have to pay for a site service to host or anything like that. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend that you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Steam Machine Podcast. My name is Dalton, and joining me as always is my good buddy.
This is Ryan.
And this week we are wrapping up our time in Tamriel for the time being at least. It was weird saying time that many times in a row, and there I go doing it again. We're going to wrap up Skyrim. I want to go ahead and say this right out from the front. I was just having a conversation with Ryan before we made the mics hot. I know that we, other than what we learned with Pixie, because Pixie really was fucking informative. Like, I learned a lot from her on the last show. We haven't really dove into a lot of the quests and things like that in Skyrim, and I think it's because, to me, this game's been out since 2011, and I'm pretty sure that anybody who's going to be listening to this show has probably fucking played Skyrim.
Yeah, for sure.
Morrowind, Oblivion, Daggerfall, Arena, those games, the older games, might dive a little more into those because I feel like it was more cult back then. You know what I mean? Like the fan base was more cult back then. When Skyrim hit, it was like, boom, Elder Scrolls hit fucking major popularity. Because I was always a fan of Oblivion, but most of my friends didn't really know what it was other than the handful that played it with me type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like most of the people who listen have probably played it before. But I've had a blast with it. I had to retire. I had to retire Orin. I had to do it. It got to the point where I would save my game and it would crash. I would try to fast travel. It would crash. I would try to wait. It would crash. There was nothing I could do.
Wow.
I don't know what happened, but I gave the fuck up on it. Couple things in the news this week before we dive more into it. Skyrim is coming to Xbox Game Pass. So if you are one of the people that I'm wrong about and you've never played Skyrim and you want to and you have Xbox Game Pass or whatever, you're in luck. It's going to be on there and you're going to be able to play it in all of its special edition glory. And I do believe that it will still support the Xbox mod system too. So that's always good. And Elder Scrolls Online at the Game Awards dropped a new trailer for the next expansion coming in 2021.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, I'll send it to you. It shows this girl and she's laying on the ground with her hand on this book, and this book starts kind of shaking, right? And then it pans to this going down this cavern type thing, and then it goes back to the girl, and the book shakes some more, and some light blasts out of the book. And then it just goes all the way through this whole thing. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing for you, but at the end, this big fucking creature thing stands up, and I was like, holy shit, that's Mehrunes Dagon. That's the fucking thing you kill at the end of Oblivion, and it goes to black and pops up. Elder Scrolls Online, and then it fades in and then flips the text and says Gates of Oblivion, and I have fucking goosebumps right now just telling you about that. I'm like, oh, they're bringing in Gates of Oblivion into Elder Scrolls. Yes! I am so fucking excited about that. I messaged Pixie, and I'm like, I might just skip the Skyrim DLC for now and wait till it comes with the the monthly or whatever. And I was like, and I am going to absolutely get that fucking Oblivion stuff, the DLC, absolutely, or expansion. I'm sorry, it's going to be an expansion, and then they'll do DLC along with it. And for anybody who wants to play Elder Scrolls Online, there is a monthly fee if you want, but if you own the game, you can play it in its entirety for free. Other than certain DLC areas, like if you pay the monthly fee, you get access to all the DLC.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to pay the monthly fee, you can buy the DLCs, and you will still be able to access them. And they're not expensive; they're like $10.
That's not bad.
And you'll have that. That way, if you do the monthly, and then your monthly runs out, you'll still have those DLCs.
Yeah.
And you get. They have, what is their currency for their in-game store? It's crowns. You get 1,500 crowns a month with the monthly thing, and you can buy DLC with crowns. So it works out eventually where you could pay for a year of that and buy all the DLC, and then at the end of that year you could have the game and not have to keep paying the monthly. Whatever you want to do.
That's cool.
What else did I see? There's a new trailer. There's a game coming out called Back 4 Blood. Did you hear about that?
No,
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Back 4 Blood is made by the same people and is a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead.
Nice.
4-player zombie slaying. Yeah, it looked.
That's awesome. Right. I'm gonna pull that up after we're done here.
Yeah, it looks sweet, dude. And what was the other? There's a new. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name, but it's a spiritual successor to Dead Space. It's a new series coming out.
That's cool.
Which looked awesome as well.
Did you see the newest Smash character?
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Sephiroth, the one-winged angel. Yeah, I've seen an influx of my friends now being like, all right, who wants to play some Smash? And I'm like, I haven't seen that posts in a while, so they must be excited to try out the new character.
Right.
That is one Switch game I do not own, and I want it. I just have never bought it.
Same. I want it, but it'll come eventually.
Yeah. And, growing up, I was never the biggest Smash person, but it was because all my friends were really fucking good at it, so it wasn't any fun to play with them.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It was like...
I get that.
I
wasn't bad, but I wasn't great either.
I had a friend of mine who was so good at Tekken that he could use one hand and beat you in under a minute.
Wow.
I watched him beat somebody using his feet one time.
Wow.
Like, he was a homeschool kid. He had a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
But he was really fucking good at that. And then in later years, I'm hanging out with friends, and we'd either be playing a wrestling game or a UFC game, and they would get fucking livid with me. Like, my one buddy in particular, I remember him throwing the controller down and going, fuck this isn't even fucking fun. And I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I'm having fun. Block. It's not my fault. You keep getting knocked out.
Learn to block.
Yeah. Man, I miss the UFC games. I wish there was more of them on PC. Like, I know they're still on PlayStation and stuff, but I got that hooked up in the living room and all of that. But I remember a specific time where me and my buddy Dustin were playing UFC, and the match started. We both had our created characters that we had both went through the career mode with, so they were all, exactly how we wanted them. And we go in, he swings, I dodged it, punched him, knocked him out.
Nice.
And he went, fuck that, let's play again. I was like, all right, so we loaded it up. Ding, round starts. I run towards him, Superman punch, knocked him out. And he goes, what the fuck? And he is pissed off at this point. He is like mad. So we did a third round, and we went all 5 rounds, and I think I ended up winning by like 1 point or something, and he was okay with that. He was just pissed off that I knocked him out first punch twice in a row. He was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's wild. 2 1-punch KOs.
Yeah. Oh, man, my guy was a fucking hoss. It was UFC 3 for PS3 or whatever, I think it was. Yeah. And, man, I went through the whole career and just did punches. Like, I didn't do groundwork. I don't do, I had some kicks, but my lethalness.
You were a stand-up boxer pretty much.
Yeah, I would say kickboxer because I did use kicks too, but no groundwork, no submissions. I went in for the kill every time, and usually got it within the first couple rounds. Like, oh man, I wonder if I have that around. I might have to fire up the PS3 later and play some UFC. Like, man, I used to love it. Those games were fantastic. The last one I got for PS4 was all right, but it's getting to the point where they're trying to be too simulation with it, in my opinion. And it's like I kind of miss the arcadiness of the old ones, where you can go in and knock a motherfucker out first punch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man, what else? I think I almost said Left 4 Dead 2, and that's not right. The Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year award, which
I saw that.
That did not surprise me. I hear great things about it. I haven't played it, but I've heard nothing but good about it.
I still haven't played the first one.
Me neither. I own it though. Well, I have it through PlayStation Plus, I think, which I would have to renew to play. But yeah, you know what I mean. I think it's on my PS4.
No.
I wonder if that's a series that'll ever get ported over to PC. Now that Sony's starting to kind of open up a little more. Speaking of which, motherfucker, when I saw the Persona 5 Scramble announcement, I keep saying Persona 5 Scramble. That's not right. Persona 5 Strikers. When I saw that announcement, James shared it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, they did an official announcement that it's coming to the West. That's awesome. And then I look down in the corner, and I see PlayStation symbol, the Xbox symbol, and the Steam symbol. And I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding? That's amazing. So bet that I'll be getting that, and that'll be probably... When I get it, we're going to play it. That'll probably be that'll be my next year whenever it comes out. That'll be my one that I'm like, all right, no, we're playing this. Because it is
You said that was like a hack and slash, right?
It is made by the same people who just released that Hyrule Warriors Calamity or whatever it is, Age of Calamity for Switch. So yeah, it's a Warriors-based game, like Dynasty Warriors, Gundam Warriors, like those types of games. It's hack and slash. Lots of enemies. Hundreds of enemies coming at you. Just
nice.
Oh man, I'm so excited. It's gonna be sweet. When I was listening to the JRPG report, James was a bit perturbed about it because PC players are getting it early before console players.
Are they?
And James is just like, well, it's not like us PlayStation guys have been playing Persona for years and years and years, and here comes the PC market, and they're just like, hey, we like your games. Oh, cool, we'll give them to you first. Which made me laugh. I feel for him, though, because I know he's a more of a console guy than he is the PC guy. Shit, I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's other stuff that we're not touching on as that happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. What have you been up to this week, my brother?
Diving into Skyrim a little bit more. Kids had a doctor's appointment the other day. That was pretty rough.
Ooh, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, but yeah, just I'm really enjoying my playthrough of Skyrim this time.
Yeah,
so I've been hitting that pretty hard.
And that's the thing, is that I'm going to keep playing Skyrim even after we're done with this. Like, we're going to end up...
Yeah, no...
I'm going to leave it on so we can just come back to it at another point and revisit it in a few years down the road.
I mean, every time we need have a break in between episodes or something, just give us a Skyrim update.
Yeah. Like, what have we been doing?
It's a month. What is it? The 12th? The 12th of every month is the Skyrim update.
You told me that you had moved on and you were doing some stuff from Dragonborn over in Solstheim. Yeah. What do you think of that? Because that is actually technically in Morrowind.
Is it?
Yeah. Solstheim.
That's pretty cool. No. This quest line's pretty fun so far. Like, I don't know if I'm deep into it yet. Where I left off was I just killed the lurker at the Windstone, I think it was.
Okay, yeah. Have you already have you seen Mirak? Did you go through that hole where you found his book?
I went through the book and everything.
That's a sweet dungeon, dude. And when you when you get a little further into it, not to spoil too much for you, but like you'll find more of those black books. And when you read them, you're going to be transported back to that, I'll call it that world that you were in that. And they are some of the coolest dungeons in Skyrim, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There were some parts of it, I'm not gonna lie, that like made me a little motion sick if in first person. So you might want to pop it in third if you have issues with that, which I don't think you do very much. But because you'll be going through a hallway and the hallway will extend as you're running through it, so it's like the walls are moving parallel to the way you're. It was just, it fucked with my eyes. It made me be like, whoa, and it gave me that warm rush across my face, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let me pause this for a minute before I throw the fuck up. But it's really cool aesthetic, man. Hermaeus Mora, I think that's his realm that you're in, is Hermaeus Mora. He's fucking cool. He's a Daedra. He's just basically like, he likes knowledge and he likes the fucking power. He's just, I don't know, he's a cool Daedra.
Yeah. I gotta check that out. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, 1 second, let me.
So what have you been up to?
So I have been messing with this new program that I found. So like I said, Oren's save's gone, unfortunately. He has been replaced by Varen Taurisi. He is a Bosmer. And I made him kind of buff. I started him off with some gold. So anyways, before I get into all that, so I deleted all my mods, or I removed them. I made a backup of them, but I removed them all from my game. I uninstalled Skyrim, deleted all the data files, deleted everything. So I installed it complete clean slate. And I'm looking into doing Lexi's Legacy of the Dragonborn guide, because it's this long, extensive mod guide that basically is built around Legacy of the Dragonborn for you to get the absolute most out of that mod.
Yeah.
And looking into it, it was going to take a lot of fucking work, and I'm going to do it eventually, just to see. Or if there's ever a mod list released, which we will get to here in just a second. So as I'm doing this, I'm looking through Reddit on is it worth it, because I like to see people's opinions on mods and things like that, because usually people will chime in if there's any issues or, mod conflicts, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And somebody mentions this program called Wabbajack. Now, the Wabbajack, you found it in game. I'm sure people who have played Skyrim have found it in game. It's the fucking staff of Shea Gorath that just does whatever the fuck it wants. You point it at something and it'll turn a chicken into an apple. You know what I mean? It's really weird. Or it'll turn a chicken into a flame atrionoch that'll kill you. Like, it just does something random. It just does what it wants. So this program takes compiled mod lists and automatically downloads them, and then installs it, and then you're good to go. And I was like, I'm going to try this, right? So I loaded it up, and I used, what was it called? Equanimity is what the mod pack was called. And I was looking for an official mod list for Lexi's Legacy of the Dragonborn guide. There was not one. And she had a blog where she was talking about that she might do it one day, but not right now. So somebody in the comments on one of the Reddit threads said, use such and such's mod because it's got all the Legacy of the Dragonborn stuff in there. And turned out that mod was Equanimity that I could find. I could have picked the wrong one. I don't know if I chose the right one that Reddit was talking about, but it was by the same author and it had all the stuff that he was talking about in it. So I clicked the button and it was a 70 gig download, and then it was 100 and something gigs to install. So that's how much it was in mod wise. 701 to be precise on how many mods it downloaded.
Yeah, you showed me that. That's insane.
And it runs smooth as butter, and I cannot fucking believe it. Like, even as good as I thought that I had done on my last mod list, no. Because when I used an E and B on my last mod list, I was getting 20 frames a second, right? And when I turned it off, with all my textures and other things that was going on, and just extra scripts that I didn't need, I was only getting 40 frames a second with 300 and something mods. This is 701 fucking mods, and I pulled it up to show you. Not only does it look like a next-gen game, it plays smooth like a next-gen game, and when I kick the E and B on, it drops it down to 30 frames a second, but it damn near looks like it has ray tracing and shit. Like, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, no, it's... you streamed it for me a little bit before we went live, like, and goddamn, dude, like, it makes my PS4 look sad. I really can't wait to do my build so I can run shit like that.
I'll only be able to do it with my phone, but I want to pull up a spot on my PC monitor and then go on my Switch on my second monitor and go stand in the same spot on my Switch and just take a picture. So you could really see the difference in like what a PC running it can do and what a Switch can do.
Yeah.
The Switch.
You should do that.
The Switch does run it better than PS3 though. I'll give it that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that tonight. I don't know where, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, dude, I've been really enjoying again this starting over. Like it's been. Excuse me. I cannot give any more credit to Legacy of the Dragonborn. It is that mod that makes me be like, well, I'll start over again, but it'll be cool because I get to fill the fucking museum and I get to go do all this stuff. And now there's more displays added and all this type of stuff that I didn't have before. And I'm finding hidden things that I didn't even know were there. Right?
Yeah.
I'm walking in the Dragonborn Hall, which is where, like, when you complete main story quests and stuff like that, this hall slowly fills up. And I walk down the stairs, and I'm doing some stuff, and I just happen to turn around, and there's a button by the stairs.
Did the stairs open up?
Well, I clicked it, and there's a big stone circle in the middle of the room, and it just lowers and opens, and there's a trap door. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went through the trap door, and you run down this long, like, I would say hallway, but it's like a cave, like a cavern. And you come upon this broken wall with a bunch of spider webs. Well, you cut through the spider webs and you go in there, and it's a room, and a quest starts called Arin Moralis, I think that's his name, and the Chamber of Secrets, right? So it tells you to go talk to him about it. So you go up there, and he goes, oh, yes, the Hall of Secrets. Honestly, I'd almost forgotten about that. It's a place where when they were digging to expand the museum, they dug into a cavern that led to this room that is underneath the Blue Palace, which is the place where the Thane stays in solitude. And when they had remodeled the palace some years ago, they walled this room off, and they don't use it anymore. So it was literally just a room underground. So Auron asked them if he could build finish out the way and make it more accessible and use it for storage in case there's ever an attack on the city, that he can take all the museum stuff and go stick it in there and lock down in there, and no one will ever find it. And you're like, well, can I store some stuff there that, away from prying eyes? And Auron's like, oh, yes, most certainly. He goes, I can set it up for you, but I'm going to use a don't ask, don't tell policy with anything that you put in there, and I won't be taking any of the museum tours there. So basically, this room is where you store your Thieves Guild and your Dark Brotherhood artifacts and stuff like that. That is where they go, is in this Hall of Secrets. And there is a table for heads. And you can get the head of each of the races, and have a head on this fucking thing. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm like, what?
That's brutal.
Yeah. And then I'll admit, I was watching some videos on it after I found the Hall of Secrets, and I'm like, all right, so I got to figure out what else is hidden in here, right? So there's a hidden thing. There were 3 stones that you have to touch, and you run. So you touch one, and you start hearing a timer ticking, and you got to run to the next couple rooms over and hit another stone, and then you have to run across the museum and down to the bottom by the armory, and then you hit a 3rd stone, and you run back up into the dining hall, and there's a podium standing there, and the floor behind the podium opens up like that thing in the Dragonborn Hall, and there is a dagger with a spoon on the handle, and you pick it up, and it's made of Stalrim, so it looks like blue diamond, right? And it's got a big spoon on the end of it, and then a blade on this side, and it's like, whether you're scooping sweets or stabbing foes, this will always do you good or something. I don't know. It's just, and I'm like, who the fuck would have just thought to go touch those 3 rocks? I don't know who found that. But kudos to the mod author for hiding stuff like that in that, because that's a cool little hidden thing. And it was hilarious. I look at it in its display, and I'm like, motherfucker, it would be so sweet to have that just hanging on the wall, just like a dagger with a big diamond spoon sticking out.
Right. I wonder how many other secret things you haven't found yet.
I don't know, but that's what I was telling you. I'll report back more on what we've been doing in Skyrim and stuff, because I'm definitely going to stick with it, especially now that I've got this new build. I'm excited about it. Like fucking Cyberpunk 2077 came out.
Yeah.
I played that.
You've been playing that, right?
I played that all night the first night and have not touched it since, because I've been playing Skyrim. That's how fucking invested I am in this goddamn mod. But let me go ahead and say, Cyberpunk, it's getting some heat online, right? Because it does not run the best on PS4s. But think about it. It's a game that's coming out in 2020 for consoles made in 2020 that you're trying to play it on a console that came out in like 2013.
Yeah.
2014. It's going to struggle. You know what I'm saying? But they are releasing a bunch of patches and fixes as fast as they can. I've been playing it on PC. I've seen little to nothing other than little minor graphical errors. And I mean, dude, with a game that big, like, so someone's holding a cigarette and it's like it's like an inch away from their fingers. Like, the fact that that's the worst glitches that I've seen and stuff like that is fucking impressive to me, because that game is a technical marvel.
Yeah. I've seen the screenshots you've been posting, and the game looks wonderful. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to jump on and watch you stream one of your next playthroughs. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, I will. I'll do that for you. I'll tell you that since I only stream to our Discord, I don't have to turn off the music to make sure I don't get DMCA'd. Bro, when I was flipping through the radio I think I told you this off air, but when I was flipping through the radio stations, I found some of the more I'll call it like gothy techno stuff that I like. They had a lot of that on there. There was a radio station. Then there was a metal station that was playing some stuff that was all right, but I was like, oh, this isn't really what I'm looking for. But they had a radio station called The Ritual. And when I highlighted over it, it said The Ritual and had a pentagram. So I'm like, all right, let's see what this is. Clicked on it, immediately welcomed with some like black metal stuff, and it just drops into this fucking breakdown with these growls and shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. This was the station I was looking for.
Yep, this is it. This is the one.
And what's amazing to me is I think I'm 5 hours in, and I'm still in the first little area. I don't have access to the rest of the city yet. Like,
oh wow.
And the whole city opens up at one point. So I'm really looking forward to diving more into that too. And for anybody who wants to know, the dong physics are tremendous, and they make me laugh.
What'd you get? Did you give yourself the 19-incher?
So there is no 19-inch, but you have a choice. Penis 1 or penis 2. Penis 1 is uncut. Penis 2 is cut. So I went with 2. Be natural to life. And then you have small, average, or large. I went with large because it tickled me to watch it flop around when my dude is moving around and stuff. It was really funny. And I gave my dude a bunch of tattoos. Although I will say that it is inclusive. If you want to make your character transgender, you can. And if you want to be a Ken doll, you can also do that. You can be
fantastic.
Like, so Tom from Factory Sealed, if you're listening, if you want to be Captain Smooth Area, you can be Captain Smooth Area. But yeah,
that's awesome.
It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it, and the visuals are fantastic. I found a way to make my computer shit itself, and that's if you turn that game on Ultra and then throw ray tracing on Ultra. You get to see what the game looks like at 5 frames a second, which is pretty cool. But it looks fantastic. So, like, for just catching some screenshots, turn all that shit on, catch your screenshot, then go and turn it back off so your computer can breathe. It's like, yeah. I know Zach, one of the guys in the Factory Sealed community on Facebook, he's got a beast of a PC. So he's got that shit all jacked up to max, wow. And it looks phenomenal. Quest-wise and stuff, I've had fun with it. But like I said, I'm not very far. Like, I've fucked around a lot, just wandering around and looking around, just being in awe. Like, I told you and Corinne.
You're doing the touristy thing first.
Fuck yeah, I was walking around
staring. Let me get a lay of the land before I actually, like, start doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm like, oh man, it's just so... I told you and Corinne that I'm in a car ride right at the beginning of the game, and I'm like, this city feels real.
You're not the only person I've seen say that on my Facebook feed.
I don't know how to explain it, dude, but it's like, it was like I was in a simulation of driving through downtown Jacksonville. It was just way more super in the future. Wow. But like, just being able to look off in the distance, and I'm seeing people and cars walking around, and like there's like red lights and green lights and stuff going on, and then right next to me there's like a crowd of people walking by, but it doesn't look like that stiff motion of NPCs that you're so used to. They flow. They look like fucking people. It is wild. It is wild. Like, there's a reason that game took as long as it did to make, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
So we'll be touching back in on Skyrim here and there. Before my game crashed, I'll say that I had defeated Alduin, like I said the last episode, I started going in and working on the Dragonborn stuff. I had built a house. I did all that for around Falkreath. And I was going to start Dawnguard, but then decided to go do Dragonborn, and then that was when all of my problems started, was doing Dragonborn. And like I said, lost that save. So started over, gonna dive back into it. I'm sure we'll touch on it again in a couple years or months. We can give a little updates here and there if we've popped in and done some stuff on it, but for the show, I do believe it is time that we move on. And we were going, I was going to do Trails in the Sky next, but we are going to postpone that because I'm going to do you a favor and not throw you into another 60-hour RPG right off the bat after we got off one. So I bothered our friend Steamy, and he ran, and I asked him for 3 games. I said, Steamy, I need 3 games. That'll give us an adequate break. And maybe we can, start the new year with Trails in the Sky. And Steamy looked at me and said, beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, dog. And he gave us, so up next is a game called Snake Pass. Number 220 on our list, Snake Pass. Have you ever heard of it?
No, not at all.
I bet you haven't heard of any of these games on this that I've got today. So, okay, first, the Snake Pass. Snake Pass is a collect-a-thon. From what I've read, I have not played it, but I've read a lot about it, and I've heard beat-em-ups talk about it on YouTube. Banjo-Kazooie style collect-a-thon. You play as a snake, and you have to think like a snake. You have to use snake physics. You have your triggers control your contractions and your squeezing, because if you want to go up a pole, you have to lift your head up and wrap around it and then tighten up on it to get a grip, and then you have to keep going around and around it. You have to act, you have to move like a snake. You have to think like a snake. You have to become the snake. But it's all cartoony and looks fucking super adorable. So it should be fun.
Yeah.
After that, we're diving into something we have not done yet, man. Dogfight 1942.
Oh shit.
Number 240.
This is a flying game, isn't it?
This is yes, I am pretty sure it is a flying arcade shooter. Let me check my Steam account real quick. Dogfight 1942. Piloting a wide range of aircraft, players engage in aerial dogfights and dangerous fighter missions across the major theaters of war during World War II.
Nice.
Looks like it is a simulation flight World War II action arcade. Okay, so I don't think it can be arcade and simulation in the same, like that, I don't know, unless you can toggle between it. It looks sweet from the visuals that I'm looking at, but I'm thinking I'm going to suck dick at this game, though.
I'm not great at flying games.
Me neither.
I remember the time I spent working at a museum. We had a flight simulator set up there, and I could get the plane off the ground, but I would be on the ground not long after.
Dude, that's one of my fucking, I would absolutely love to work at a museum. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I should try to get a job at the one in Gainesville. I don't know. But yeah, this looks cool. I'm used to, one of my first PlayStation games back in the day that me and my dad played a lot together was called Air Combat, which turned into the Ace Combat series.
Oh, nice. I remember that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I have a little bit of experience with it, and plus I've played games where you have to fly and shoot stuff like Far Cry. But from what I'm seeing, this is going to be back to more that Ace Combat style of dogfighting, and we're going to have our work cut out for us. It'll be fun, though.
Nice.
And the third game that Steamy gave us, I am looking forward to. I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to enjoy it. Number 111, and that would be Postal 2.
Postal 2. This just doesn't sound right with Postal. Or is this like a super wholesome game where you just deliver mail house to house?
Excuse me. Sorry, you cut out there on Discord. Did you just say, is this a super wholesome game?
Yeah, I was going to say, is this like a super wholesome game where you deliver mail house to house?
Live a week in the life of the postal dude. A hapless everyman just trying to check off some chores. Buying milk, returning an overdue library book, getting Gary Coleman's autograph. What could possibly go wrong? That's the description of the game.
Oh my god.
I remember this game getting a lot of heat back in the day because it is ridiculous. It is not a wholesome game. It is definitely rated mature. I have played it some before. I've never beaten it, but I have played it enough that I lit somebody on fire and then peed them out. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain this game other than it's just wild. There's 4 of them.
Oh my god. There's 4 of them?
There's 4 Postal games, yeah. And I think 1 and 2 are on our list. I might have deleted 1 from the list because 1 did not age well at all. But yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. All
right.
And Postal 4 is called No Regrets.
All right, these, just based on what you're telling me about this, it already wins. Like,
now, my question to you is, what do you want to do them in that order? Snake Pass, Dogfight, Postal?
we're gonna cover all 3 in the next episode, right?
Oh, no.
No. Oh, okay.
These are just kind of laying out the next few episodes.
Oh, okay.
But I figure at the beginning of the year we'll go back to randomly choosing on the show itself. I just wanted to do this because I wanted to do these 3, and then we'll do an end of the year type episode, and then we'll dive into trails, and then after that we'll get back to the normal swing of things.
Yeah.
But man, I am super looking forward to playing Postal.
Do you want to start off with that one?
Yeah, we could go right into Postal 2.
Or did you want to start off with the one we're going to struggle with the most? Like,
you know what? Let's do that.
Let's do post. You want to start off with the flying or Postal? Like,
let's see. Let's start.
Because both of them sound awesome. Like,
let's do Dogfight first.
Okay.
And then we'll do Postal, and then we'll do Snake Pass.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then we'll move on from there. So that'll work. So up next is Dogfight 1942. Maybe this will be a hidden gem. You never know. Maybe it'll be
like the last Tinker.
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw on here, if I could quickly pull it back up, it's got a mostly positive review on Steam.
Nice.
So, although there is a review in the past 90 days that says, "How could you make this game and not have joystick support?" Although we don't use joysticks, so
yeah.
Somebody else is just like, just go play Ace Combat instead. Oh, tremendous. All right,
I'm looking forward to it.
If you would like to find us on social media, you can find us at facebook.com/The Steam Machine Podcast, or you can go on Facebook and search The Steam Machine Podcast Lounge and come join our new Facebook group where we are trying to build a little community of people that you can go on there, bullshit, share memes, talk video games, talk about the show, talk about whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. We just want a community, and everyone's cool that has joined so far, super welcoming. So please, by all means. You can also find us on Twitter at @Steam_podcast. At Steam_podcast. I said the Steam the first time. So he fucked it up. No longer day 0. Mark a tally.
Nope.
Or no, it is back. It's back to day 0. That's right. Yeah, it's back to day 0 without fucking up. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. That would be wonderful. Helps us tremendously. Wade through the sea of Stormcloak bodies that is other video game podcasts as we try to get to the imperialness that is showing up when people search video games. Which is going to take a while, but that's okay. We appreciate every single one of you that are listening every week. Also pinned at the top of our post on Facebook, if you want to get a shirt or a mask or a skateboard or anything that they have on Threadless with our show logo on it, there is a link there. Other than that, you got anything else, my brother?
No, I'm looking forward to this flying game. Like, it's been a while since I played one of those. I'm actually kind of intrigued now. So
yes. Before we go, have you ever heard of the Trials of Reddit?
Oh, no, I haven't. What is this?
So I'm listening to some older episodes of Tadpog today, and there was a time when Tyler was reading the Trials of Reddit, and it's kind of hard to find. He did send me a link, which I will forward to you at your own risk. They are stories that are just the worst of the worst on Reddit. I'm going to read you just the titles of them, and I'll give you a quick description if I know one. Uno momento. But yeah, this is under Gross in the Museum of Reddit thread. So, it says, warning, some of these links contain stories and images you can't unsee. Read at your own risk.
Wow.
And they are The Cum Box, Broken Arms, Redditor has sexual relationships with his mother, The Jolly Rancher story, The Doritos story, Colby, 2012, Non-sexual and silly, Bozar King is very close with his sister, the Ask a Rapist thread. And user U111 quote wrestles with his sister, and the Dagobah story. Now, out of the ones that I have read or heard Tyler talk about, I have heard the Cum Box, I've heard the Jolly Rancher story, I've heard the Dagobah story, and I read the Ask a Rapist thread earlier, which that one is just fucked up. But not fucked up in the same way that goddamn Dagobah, the Swamps of Dagobah story is horrid. The Jolly Rancher story is pretty bad. The Cum Box I thought was more funny than anything, but it's really gross. So I'm not going to read these just to save anybody who doesn't want to hear them. But if you're a listener and you would like to read them,
This is almost like a 2 girls 1 cup challenge.
yes, yeah. This is a visual. Without the video, this is just reading things that are on that level of gross.
The literature version, yeah.
If you would like to read them, message me on Facebook or tell me in the Facebook group. If you're in the Discord, let me know, and I will link you to this that Tyler sent to me, and you are more than welcome to read them. Might I suggest a couple things?
This is terrible.
Incognito mode. Or on Reddit doing the private, the whatever. And don't just like willy-nilly share these because they are fucking nasty and gross and just the depths of depravity. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say most of them are probably fake. Like, I think it's just people that are really good at writing. But there are some that are real believable and they're hardcore. So yeah, there's that. And I'm going to end on that note. So he's Ryan. I'm Dalton. And as always, guys, take it easy.